To soften the female side, to get in touch with the female side, does not mean become female. Does not mean have 8 times more blood flow going on in my brain when some little problem happens. I can train myself to get upset over little things, and I will become weak. Men are not designed for that. Our brains are different. We can be conditioned. You can nurture somebody to become anything, basically. But when you nurture a woman to be like a man, or you nurture a man to become like a woman, what happens is they don't sleep at night. They're stressed out. They're totally stressed out. And when women are stressed out, that's the new book about how men and women cope differently with stress, their reaction is very different from men. When women are stressed out, and every one of you women is stressed out compared to my mother. I've seen it. I watched it as a therapist 30 years ago starting this and seeing this word gradually increase in women's vocabulary. I hear it all the time and see it all the time. And I have 3 daughters and their little children and my wife. And they're overwhelmed. How many women every week at some point, several times, feel overwhelmed? I'm not going to wait here till you all raise your hands. If you don't, come on. It's strength in numbers. You know, there's nothing wrong with this. What women are today. I mean, there's always a few exceptions here and there who are on Prozac or something, but they've numbed themselves some way. But women today are overwhelmed. And when I say that, again, I back it up with research. That's what's so fun, to back all this stuff up. Is that now there's new research that's come out that shows that women, when you measure the stress hormone is cortisol. The stress hormone cortisol is twice as high in women than men. And it didn't used to be that way. And when a woman's in the workplace, it's twice as high as a man's, as an average. There could be, you know, if he's in danger for a little while, his is going to shoot way up, but then it will come back. Hers stays twice as high as a man as an average. And then when he comes home, as soon as he sees his TV set and remote control, his stress goes down. So all we have to do is head for the couch. There's my chair. Diane kept saying, is it okay to have that chair? What man could ever turn down a chair? As soon as a guy sees a chair and he can forget all responsibilities for a little while, his stress levels drop. Not all men can do that. I can. Successful men can. Some men haven't figured it out. And this is like really important information for men to know, is how does a man's body cope with stress? The way men cope is by solving problems for a while, and that's generally during the light hours. And when the sun sets, your brain really shuts down if you're a man anyway. There's less blood flow in this part of the brain. And you don't think as much. And there are very few emergencies that can get you off that couch. She can, you know, I remember one time my wife saying to me, I'm sitting on the couch, and she said, John, we have to clean up the house. It's like suddenly they 8 times more blood flow. And this is a big, you know, men are always saying, women want it now, they demand it now, they become so demanding. No, they're not. It just sounds that way because men only get that intense if they're demanding it now. So men just constantly misinterpreting women, thinking that women are demanding it now. I want it now, I want it now. And he's like, oh, she's always wanting everything. No, she just wants to tell you about it all. And then you have to have the right response if you're not going to do it now. Men haven't figured that one out. I have done it for you. This is the right response. You say, oh, honey, I would be happy to do that. Why don't you go ahead and put that on my list? That's it. You have a little list. It was perfect. I was looking for a Valentine's card this year. And instead of getting her a card, I got her this little pad with a woman's face on it with a little caption on it. She's like this, and she's happy. And she says, I dream of a clean home. So I said, honey, and I wrote a little note, a little present to her. I said, this is your special pad. I love you, and I'm here to make all your dreams come true. And so we have that little pad, has a little wrapper, a little rubber band on it. So whenever she wants you to do something and it sounds demanding, you have to know she's not demanding. That's just your misinterpretation. She's just from Venus. Her brain is going to be 8 times more active when she's under moderate stress. Men's brain, there's nothing happening at a 2. That's what he's doing on the couch. See, he's sitting there. The brain is resting for him. It's like today there's all this stress, so he's busy, busy, busy. Now he can let the brain regenerate, rejuvenate, just sitting there doing nothing. Now you think this invention of TV sets is, you know, like the Western world, because now we have TV sets. So you see men that are sitting there looking at TV sets. Go to India, in a little village where they don't have TV sets, and what will you see? Same thing you see here. The women are all busy cleaning, cooking, taking care of the kids, talking, nonstop noise. The men are like sitting around staring into the fire, telling stories, whatever. This is thousands and thousands of years old. This is not, you know, my husband doesn't love me. He just wants to watch TV or whatever he does. He needs a break from his work to forget all responsibilities. That could be deep sleep.